The Dingle Peninsula in the southwest of Ireland is well known as one of the country's most scenic locations, and it's also a region with a fascinating history. The origin of the villages and farms of the Dingle Peninsula date back to early Christian and even prehistoric times. Corcodwydne, Gaelic for the Dingle Peninsula, is a place steeped in history. Legend has it that in the 6th century, Brendan the seafarer set out from here on a voyage that eventually took him to America. Today, this relaxing section of the coast is popular with both tourists and locals alike. The land seems to have a magical power all its own. Both the land and its people are fascinating. And what could be better than to experience the splendour of the Dingle Peninsula? It's easy to sense the proximity of the sea. Several roads travel along the coast, and they each provide a good view of the sea. The region is becoming increasingly popular due to its combination of beautiful scenery and fine old traditions. The stone walls that define each meadow are typical of Ireland, as well as large sections of the Dingle Peninsula. Rural charm is just one of the many attractions of this region. And even in summer, at the height of the tourist season, the roads here are far from busy. Left-hand drive and winding roads make it quite demanding for our driver. He needs every ounce of concentration. A steady pace is all that's needed here, as the beautiful landscape deserves a closer look. This unique coastal area provides the perfect excuse to take it easy and enjoy the more leisurely side of life. The 1,500 inhabitants of tiny Dingle Town have for generations been closely associated with the sea. Their forefathers were also fishermen. Although today's fishing industry is not what it once was, the fishing harbour still plays a vital role in the lives of the local people. Due to tourism, the pubs of Dingle Town are kept well busy. However, compared with other parts of Ireland, tourism here is a far more subdued affair. In addition to Ireland's famous traditional beer and whisky, the restaurants also offer a good variety of seafood. It doesn't take long to be captivated by this gentle harbour town. For some years, Dingle has also had another attraction. In Dingle Town in 1984, a dolphin appeared just off the coast, and it accompanied the fishing boats into the harbour. Indeed, it still does, and the Dingle Dolphin is now a well-known attraction on this part of the coast. For those on board the pleasure boats, the sight of the Dolphin is a wonderful adventure. From here, there's a good view of the harbour. From the sea, the beauty of the landscape is even more apparent. The boat's captain looks out to sea. He's well aware of the Dolphin's daily routine. Since the first contact with the Dolphin, a warm relationship has developed between the Dolphin and those who travel here by boat. Several times a day, pleasure boats leave Dingle Town's harbour and make for a special area of the peninsula's rocky coastline. Normally it's possible to see the Dolphin. It's only a few days in the year that it doesn't appear. But today we look in vain into the coastal waters of Southwest Ireland. However, after some on board have given up any hope at all of seeing the Dolphin, it suddenly appears from the depths of the sea. It happily swims alongside our boat, only a few meters away. Its behavior is quite unusual for a wild dolphin. Dolphins are usually social animals that live in groups. The acrobatic antics of Fungi, the dolphin of Dingle Town, demonstrates his playful skills. Although he lives alone, he appears to enjoy his life here. And he's certainly the shining star of Dingle's coastline. Thousands of visitors have been captivated by Fungi. In the evening, the boats return to the harbour. This is a good opportunity to take in the full splendour of the mountains, the landscape, and Dingle Town. This former smuggler's haunt is one of Ireland's many treasures. It's been popular for around 20 years or so. In recent years, it's attracted various artists. The Dingle Peninsula has also been home to many Irish writers and poets. Dingle Town is an inspiring place. The lush green meadows located around the harbour town are a good place in which to relax. They're also home to one of Ireland's typical farm animals. They're as common as the many stone walls that cut through the region's meadows. The journey provides many fascinating views of the surrounding mountains. Their highest peaks are more than 900 meters high. After traveling a few kilometers along the coast, we arrive at an interesting archaeological site. From the road, a small pathway leads through various meadows. While the sheep and donkeys enjoy the fresh green grass, there are fine views across the picturesque Dingle Bay. The peninsula has been inhabited for 6,000 years, so it's hardly surprising that the region is so rich in history. The Dunbeg Fort. It originated in the Bronze Age. Archaeology has shown that it dates back to the 8th century BC. The magnificent location of the fortress, hundreds of meters above the thundering sea and mighty cliffs, makes the visit to Dunbeg Fort a dramatic adventure. This mysterious fortress was inhabited until Celtic times. It was only in the 10th century AD that the fortress was eventually abandoned. Little is known of its origins. It's believed that the stone buildings were used for both military and ritual purposes. Archaeology has thus far been unable to reveal the mysteries of this fascinating ancient sea fortress. The former inhabitants of the Dingle Peninsula chose a good location for their massive structure. The Dunbeg Fort provides both a cultural and atmospheric insight into the history of this region. The journey across the Dingle Peninsula continues along narrow, winding coastal roads. Soon we arrive at our next destination. Close to Fahan is a large group of Beehive Huts, ancient circular buildings that date back to the last ice age. According to archaeologists, further buildings were erected in early Christian times. Each building has a simple circular construction. They were built without the use of mortar, and it's amazing how they've survived right up to the present day. The thousands of years old buildings have lost nothing of their fascination. And now there's much interest in the beehive-shaped buildings. Like so much of the landscape here, the surroundings of Fahan are extremely tranquil and a veritable paradise on earth. But here there are not only sheep, there are also a number of wild coastal creatures. In contrast to the better-known Ring of Kerry that is to be found on a peninsula further south, this coastal road has hardly any traffic. For many years, the road lay undiscovered by tourists, even though the splendour of the landscape is quite overwhelming. Today, an increasing number of tourists travel this impressive road. They appreciate the calm pace of this part of the world. And around each bend, there's yet another splendid view. This region really is a delight. An idyllic rural coastline with good air, fine views, and a special character all its own. Our next destination is close by and is situated alongside this coastal road. Sleehead Drive leads from Dingle Town to the small village of Ventry and the southernmost point of the peninsula. The 30-mile-long Sleehead Drive also travels inland past many remote farmhouses. Fishing, agriculture and stock farming have for several centuries been the main sources of income for the inhabitants of the Dingle Peninsula. Sleehead Drive is not only an important road for the local people, it also travels back in time. Numerous ancient forts, stone circles and crosses are located alongside this unique and historic road. The ring road was named after the coastal region of Sleehead. The imposing steep cliffs of this area add to its evocative splendour. The views across the rocky coastline and endless North Atlantic are an unforgettable experience. Along Sleehead Drive there is a large variety of good vantage points, each with its own magnificent panoramic view. Sometimes it's a good idea to leave the car and wander through the wonderful meadows that gave Ireland its nickname of the Emerald Isle. Despite the beautiful landscape of the peninsula, the area around Dingle Town is relatively sparsely populated. While travelling east from Sleehead, the surrounding hills and mountains become more obvious. The remote roads that connect the remote villages are a dream come true for anyone who drives a car. The villages are totally unspoiled, and each village has at least one pub. A good place to relax. The Benoski Mountains rise from the centre of the peninsula, the highest peaks being more than 900 metres above sea level. The unique atmosphere of this place once allured many monks to this isolated area. Most of them lived here in complete solitude. They settled on the slopes and hills along the coast. They lived in circular stone huts and dedicated their lives to prayer. The rural character of the surroundings also sometimes encroaches onto the roads. In this part of Ireland, it's advisable to be aware of stray animals. After our round trip on Sleehead Drive, we travel up into the mountain region of the peninsula. The road soon steepens, and Ireland's second highest mountains beckon. Some hundreds of meters of altitude must first be conquered. Again, taking it easy comes naturally here, and time is of no importance. The lush green of the surrounding slopes accompanies us on our journey to a legendary pass. With several blind and narrow bends, the section of road between Dingle Town and the Connor Pass is the most demanding part of the journey. Even here, there are sheep. They graze among the rocks close to the road and take little account of the traffic. Around 456 metres above sea level, the O'Connor Pass is Ireland's highest mountain road. From here, there's a fine view of the legendary Mount Brandon. Legend has it that the holy Brandon asked for God's help for his dangerous journey across the Atlantic. Even today, Mount Brandon is visited by the faithful. 951 metres high, it's the second largest mountain in Ireland. The remains of a prayer sanctuary that dates back to the 6th century have been found close to the summit of the mountain. This appears to add weight to the Irish legend. The route from the Connor Pass down to Strad Valley offers a marvellous view across the outstanding Brandon Bay. We gradually wend our way down the Benoski Mountains to Brandon Bay. Soon we arrive at Tralee Bay. The city of Tralee has developed into the starting point for various tours to the Dingle Peninsula. The entire southwest of Ireland has now become a popular tourist destination. The idyllic romantic villages and natural rugged beauty of the Dingle Peninsula is quintessentially Irish. Its mysterious prehistoric and early Christian monuments, as well as the beauty of its landscape, have given the Dingle Peninsula the magic that has rightly made the Emerald Isle famous throughout the world.